Hi, I'm Brock.
I'm Jim.
Before we get started, if you want to stay ahead of the cattle markets, sign up for our free daily briefing at hundredweight.com. It's delivered right to your inbox every morning, 5-minute read. And if you've ever wished you could keep complete cattle records without the clipboard, the Cattle Record Guide lets you enter records from the field with your gloves on. Just say, "Hey Siri, try it free for 14 days at hundredweight.com. Good morning and welcome back to Cattle Market, guys. Wrapping up the week of August 14th. Jim, we've got a lot to unpack today, from the snapshot numbers to some major shakeups on the Packer side.
Well, let's get into it, Brock. There's a lot to cover this week.
Let's start with the snapshot. Looking at the 500 to 549 weight steers, current price is $417.55 per hundredweight, and that's up $6.26 week over week. But zoom out a month, and we're down $35.34 from that $452.89 mark we saw back in early July.
That's a pretty steep slide for a month's time.
It is, and the 600 to 649 weight class tells a similar story. Current price sits at $378.77, up $4.99 from last week, but down $37.73 from a month ago when it was sitting at $416.50. So we've got this pattern of short-term stabilization after a pretty rough month.
Sounds like the market's trying to catch its breath.
That's a good way to put it. Now here's where it gets interesting for forecasting. The 1-week forecast for that 500 to 549 class is $425.71. So the model's expecting continued upward movement, but the 600 to 649 forecast is calling for $354.29 next week, which would actually be a pullback from where we are today. The 4-week outlook has that heavier class recovering some ground to $404.17, but there's some real short-term volatility baked into these projections.
Well, that's the kind of number that'll keep a rancher up at night.
And speaking of volatility, we've got some relevant context from the futures side. According to Wednesday's action, the August live cattle contract settled $2.22.5 higher at $234.17.5 per hundredweight, with Packer bids climbing from $230 to $235 per hundredweight midweek. But then Thursday's option expiration triggered a sharp sell-off. That's all for today. Remember to sign up for our free daily briefing at hundredweight.com. And if you want complete cattle records without the hassle, try the Cattle Record Guide free for 14 days. Enter records from the field with your gloves on. Just say, "Hey Siri."
Catch you in a couple days.
All right, see you then.